4.
On time, people, come on.
You what?
I wish people would show up on time, right? Start these things at 7 o'clock sharp.
Yeah.
Okay, secretary.
Can we have a motion to accept the minutes that I had sent out to everybody?
Any of you guys read the minutes that
I
you
did.
got sent out?
Actually.
I did too. Anybody have any comments, questions on the minutes?
I need a motion to accept.
Accept.
Steve.
Yes.
You made a motion to accept?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a second?
I didn't read them.
Okay.
I second. All in favor? To accept? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Minutes have been accepted. Vendors, where are we with vendors?
At the moment, we have 49 with one you wanted to discuss. Because this weekend is where it is, this weekend, gosh, I'm sorry. Octoberfest, the first Saturday this year happens to fall actually on Columbus Day weekend, so we don't have the dart game there. This year, he wants to come back next year, but he's already booked for something else. So we'll have to find something else for that spot. And I did talk to people from the Second Congregational Church regarding children's things at the event and more games or something, crafts for them to do, so they're checking into that. And Board of Health had requested an area where they can give free COVID and flu shots to people. And that's another branch that's coming in to do that. It's going to be with the Board of Health.
Who?
What?
I missed the verb. Who's, who?
Are you with us now, John?
The Board of Health?
It's through the Board of Health. There's a
The Douglas
group.
Board of Health has requested a booth, which is actually, a spot. We're gonna, they're gonna set up a tent. We're gonna have uniformed nurses there giving COVID shots.
Great.
For the people that want them.
I had requested that they have chairs for people and they need to have a tent.
Right.
Because of no matter what weather, whoever's covered. So I talked with the Friends of the Library and the library people, and when you're facing the library, that last long spot, they're gonna go there.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, looking at the library.
It's a good spot, it's right up front.
And people are gonna have to, after they get their job, they have to wait 20 to 30
Some do,
minutes?
depends if they've had a reaction before or if they have any other side effects. They're gonna have trained people there, so we don't have to handle any of it.
What we're gonna probably have to do, though, we'll have to get a little bit more information from them, because we're probably gonna have to advertise that a little, right, ahead of time, so that people know that's there. And if let's say that they've already had one and they want a second shot, then they should bring their COVID card, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we can discuss those details with the Board of Health, because if they want a booster, then that's different than the first shot or the second shot or something, whatever. We're gonna have to talk about that. So some of that might require that we do some pre-advertising for that.
We have to send out a press release anyway.
Yeah.
You wanted to discuss the Douglas Cultural Council having a vendor forum, which is cool.
Douglas Cultural Council has given us a vendor application. They want to put up a booth and do some raffles and stuff. They're a sponsor of ours this year, so we should probably give them a space. Be a motion for that.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the Cultural Council has a spot. This is going to become important for them because they're sponsoring entertainment. So that means in order to get that covered by them, or whatever portion they're covering, the contracts have to be, I have to have a contract for every entertainer with the amounts that we're paying them on them, because I'm going to use that as the invoices that we're covering with the Cultural Council.
Okay.
All right? questions?
Don't go too fast, my hand is still recuperating from before.
So the cultural council is sponsoring the
The cul-
entertainment?
the Douglas Cultural Council is kind of like a subset of the Massachusetts Cultural Council. Massachusetts Cultural Council is like statewide, and they allocate money to the little local communities. The little local community councils, Douglas is one of them, for dispersing grant funds to, promote cultural activities and
Okay.
stuff. We applied for one of those. We applied for some money from them because, we do, Octoberfest is a big cultural event, so we look towards them because our costs, especially last year, went up with police department and all of that. So we're looking for, trying to grab, sponsors.
And that wasn't the case last year? This would be the first year?
Well, we've actually applied and gotten it before, but we did not do it last year. But we did it again this year. We asked, because now it's starting to get tight. A lot of the sources for sponsorships and stuff have dried up, so I'm looking for everywhere I can to get some resources to help us put the event on.
Yeah, because entertainment's also getting more expensive. Entertainment is getting more expensive.
Yes. And not only that, but last year we had a lot of expense with closing the street down and, parking and, those other things that
Yeah.
cost more this year. Is there anything else from you?
What I have is I reached out to the lodge, and one of the gentlemen said it would be okay to talk with Center Bakery that uses that hall to bake her product. I was going to reach out to her to see if she would like to partake in the day and sell her wares. She has all different types of baking. She also has little pizzas and just tons of food that she makes. So I will reach out to her to see if she would like to partake inside the lodge for the day. It will be just something else and different, so.
We still doing a stage up there?
Yeah, we're gonna keep things status quo. So we'll do the one either on the ground or the single setup.
Okay.
And we'll put like small singer-songwriter acts up there. And then we'll leave like the variety show stuff down by Harry's.
Okay, all right, so you all done?
Yes. Well, I'm just hesitating because I thought we were switching that around a little bit, putting
No, I just
some bands.
asked, we were talking about Mason's Lodge, so I just kind of threw that in
Right.
because that was Mason's Lodge.
All right, well,
Okay.
he brought it up, so I'm gonna bring it up while I remember. That, I thought we were switching it up just a tad bit, putting some of the music.
Everything was tentative, sort of brainstorming ideas, but I think I'd like to keep things status quo as they are. Leave music up there, singer-songwriter stuff up there.
Okay,
But put them back in the yard, in the grassy area, right? Because of the weather and the rain, we had schlepped people under the Masons awning there.
yep,
So the bands were really out of the way up there, but, so get them back kind of in the middle of the road. And then I think that'll be good, because we'll line, we'll really get vendors up the road there, right?
do our best.
Up both sides. So along that note too, I did get the login for the email,
Okay,
and I will check it and then send everything to you.
well, that's what Keith did anyway. He would check of what he needed to answer, and then what I needed to answer and send
Yeah.
to me. What he needed, he'd send to him.
I got the login, I haven't looked at it yet, but
Okay.
tomorrow I'll do it and plan on blasting you emails.
Yeah, because there are probably some emails in there.
Probably.
Okay.
Is there gonna be any live performing in the beer garden like last year?
Yep.
Yep.
Will the music at the Masons Lodge?
It won't bleed.
Okay.
No, because we'll do like quieter singer-songwriter acts up far. And it's just not projecting that loud. And even like even the main stage doesn't bleed over enough. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, I'm good.
all right. Treasurer stuff. Well, right now, we get a little over $19,000 in our kitty. That's about where we usually start at. I have, I sent out, the,
Sponsors?
requests to my sponsors, my sponsor request letters to like our major sponsors and stuff. We did get back, a $900 sponsor payment from Webster First. They sponsor Main Stage. Unibank has said that they will do it again, so we have Unibank sponsoring the Midway and the Waterloo Light Parade.
Okay.
Okay, so
What's the price range for a major sponsor? What's the donation?
I have
about?
a letter. I can send you a copy of that. But I have I call it the Chairman's Program, the Chairman's Sponsor Program. And then I send it out to like Unibank and Webster First and Milford Federal and a couple of other major places like that, and see if they, and I have a list of like the major pieces that we need to cover. You know, like police, main stage, entertainment,
Mhm.
parade, that type of stuff. And I put down an approximate cost of what it's cost us to run that in the past.
Okay.
And based on that, some of them step up and say, I'll sponsor that, you know, like Unibank does. When they sponsor, the payment that they give us pretty much covers the bouncies on the lawn. So every time we sell a ticket, we get money back and help us put the event on to pay entertainers and stuff.
So if I have some sources for that, do I just send you the name of the institution and the contact name and then you follow up with them? Or
You
do
can,
I
yep.
do that, or?
Well, you send it to me, because then I can send them the sponsor letter that I give everybody else.
Okay.
That way, because I keep track of what somebody's sponsoring already.
Okay.
Because the reason why I do that is because during that event, like if you look at Main Stage, it has Webster First banner on,
Mhm.
you know, and like the Midway that we have for the things has Unibank sponsoring it. So what happens is I keep track of who sponsors, you know, what area that way.
Okay.
So if you have somebody that you think can be included, forward their contact information to me and I will send them off
Okay.
a letter. That works. So anyway, so those are starting to trickle in. I was hoping that we would have one of the, you know, one or both or all of the chiefs here so that we could talk about traffic again. But we'll have to put that off. I envision parking to be the same as we did last year, but we do have to talk about the hayride. Did we want to do that again?
What did it cost us?
$600.
Whittier said that usually costs $1,200, so they sponsored half, 600 of it, and then we had to pay the other.
Yeah, there was also going to be, it would have made things a lot more interesting if we were able to do the petting zoo up there, like we planned, and have the little farmer's market up there, which we had some people lined up to do that, but it was raining, so nobody wanted to do any of that. That would have made
And our numbers were low,
And
so
I-
parking wasn't as much of an issue.
Yeah.
I'd like to give it one more go and see. It was a bust last year, right? But
Yeah.
but for those reasons,
It was a bust because of rain. I think
Yeah.
it would have been
so
different had it been a sunny, gorgeous, busy day.
give it one more go with a good weather year and see if it alleviates the parking situation and getting people down to the event. Would be where I'm at.
Okay. I have a daughter with a birthday in October, and like every year, you know, it was like watching the weather, seeing what we're gonna do. You know, it was just a really tough month.
Yeah. Is everybody okay with that? Doing it again?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will call and see if I can get them back. Video files. I will discuss it with them again. I'll see if they're interested in doing the farmer's market up there again, right? The whole thing.
And that was for people who parked what, up at the elementary school and middle
Yeah.
school?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like the elementary school, the middle school.
Right.
And, all that whole tree school complex up there.
But they can only get there from 16, like going around and then shooting up? Is that?
Well, you can go up, what's the name of that?
Gleason Court.
Gleason Court, right? Because that's just before the barricade.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
So
Take
if you
the
went up,
detour around.
if you went up Gleason Court.
Yeah,
Or Route 16,
yeah.
you can get to all that parking area up there. And then we had a hayride that went from the post office parking lot up Gleason Court to all three of those parking spaces, and then it came back down, and then, dropped off and picked up, and they did that route right there,
Okay.
from behind the post office.
I think if we could promote that more, like, we parked at the ball field, which was great, but honestly, I think, the weather ended up being nice at the time we went there. We went there by like noontime and it was beautiful. Like, it probably would have been more fun if I knew or, had that
The
idea,
hayride?
so yeah.
And then the idea was, and if the weather had cooperated, the hayride would have brought you up to a part where Whittier Farm would have had a farmer's market up there.
Mhm.
Okay, that was supposed to be part of the mix. And it was actually another farm that was gonna do a farmer's market as well. They were gonna do like meats and stuff, like frozen meats and, and then there was a petting zoo that was gonna be up there. So there was gonna be those things up there too that would have been, at the end of the hayride, if you wanna call it that. And then,
So maybe we market it as like, there are two official parking lots. The ball field for suggested donation,
Mhm.
and then free parking up at the school with the hayride.
at the end of the hayride, yeah.
Hayride
Yeah,
and other stuff.
So that's gonna require, then, if we do that, that's gonna require a lot of pre-advertising as well.
Yeah. So, while we're sort of there, I can take care of a press release. What do you want in it? Are we in need of, it's like too early to advertise the parking stuff, but
Yeah.
do you want to ask for volunteers? Do you want to ask for
We
vendors?
need volunteers, we can have them now, but we need vendors.
Okay.
Volunteers, vendors, actually just a general announcement that the event is happening on the 7th.
you said we were at 49 vendors to date. What's, like, what did we end at last year, or what's our, like, where do we prefer to be?
100 plus, right?
We had 100 plus last year. I mean, we were up to, up and around, I think we were at like 135 last year.
Oh, wow.
So, and we had like
But a-
two
but a-
spots left.
But we had a lot of no-shows.
That was because of the weather.
That's the weather. right?
Yeah,
But 130 registered, paid
Yep.
registered.
yep.
And a lot of people didn't show
Yeah,
up.
we had an ice cream truck that was.
He
in
did
the-
show up,
Yeah.
but then he's like, I'm not gonna make any money, and off he goes.
And my buddy Eric out of Connecticut does letterpress paper stuff, so he's like, I can't.
Yeah, he also
Can't
does
show up.
t-shirts. He hand carves what he's going to ink,
Mhm.
and it's pretty cool.
Paper in the rain, no good.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how it goes. So hopefully that's good about this year. All right, so I'll work on a press release as well.
Yes.
Okay, so, hopefully we can, get the other chiefs here to firm up the parking stuff and the street closing. I don't anticipate that to be different than it was last year. It appeared pretty successful, so, I think that we're gonna probably end up with the same with that.
Are there sponsorships or grants or funding or something for helping with the police costs? 'Cause they added quite a bit of,
I don't know, I've been researching a bunch of sources, seeing if I can get some additional funding to help with that, but, the cultural council's gonna help this time, because, what I don't spend on entertainment, I can use someplace else.
Sure.
You know, so that's gonna be a plus, so, hopefully that will help.
Yeah, the price of the police went up because we also had to have out-of-town
We
policemen.
needed additional, yeah, because of the way that they had to close the roads and stuff down, we had to have additional details at each, like at North Street, which we never had before. And, you
Way
know, up at Route
Way
6.
up, Route 16, yeah.
Yeah, so, some of that was funded with, out of town offices that help fill in the details and stuff, because they still gotta keep, police presence in the town anyway,
Yeah.
So, entertainment.
Yeah, I have a master schedule created involving 4 stages. Main stage, the Harry's Goodness stage, the Masonic stage, and the Beer Garden. We're gonna have a break in the middle at 11:30 for the Larger Than Life parade. I have been in communication and talks with the drama teacher at Franklin High School to have him choreograph and coordinate the whole thing with his drama kids, with the puppets and the stilts and everything. I've given him kind of what we're looking for and the music and all of that. So, it's always a little bit of a wrinkle with summer.
So how are they doing that? Are they doing like rehearsals and practice, or?
I don't totally know. He has like an honors drama class, and I think his goal was to tap the kids in his honors class to do it, to choreograph it as like a class-based project kind of thing, and then come out here and perform it.
Do they do this stuff like after school or something, or when do they?
I think they do it, yeah, probably both, like during class,
Yeah.
but also after. They actually they compete. The kids write their own plays, and then they like compete at local stuff.
As it starts getting, how would it be, okay, if like you, me, or whoever wants to go, takes a couple of puppets and goes there to one of their sessions, so that, and see what they're working on?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the rub is always like the timing, right? Because they're not going to start school until September, so really it's like kind of gives them 6 weeks to plan something. So I'll continue to coordinate with Skylar to get some more confirmation and sure it up.
Well, they start school in September, it's only 4 weeks. We're the
Yeah,
first
right.
Saturday in
So
October.
5 weeks, right?
Doesn't mean they can't see if they can manage to get some of the students together somewhat over the summer.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
Are they gonna do more than just use the puppets? Are they gonna be in costume doing something else
That's
as
my
well?
goal. Yeah, that's my hope.
Okay.
That I've told Skylar that I'm looking for what we've been trying to get the whole time, right? Sort of a joyous, lively, joyful, gregarious, interactive event.
Yeah.
So.
I want people to say, wow,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've told him all of that. It's just a matter of now, like, letting him do the thing.
So, but my thought is that it may not get them excited to actually see a couple of these things and get the touchy feel.
Yeah, but don't forget too that a lot of the kids that came, those are the same kids.
Yeah.
So,
They were terrific.
and they're excited. I saw one of the girls at the end of the year, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm looking forward to want to do that again." So they're excited to do it. They want to do it, and then it's the kind of thing that, if we can get a little bit of momentum, right, and get some underclassmen who do it, then we can start to, year to year, kind of continue with it. But I've got to get Skylar to take it and go. He's a busy guy.
We all are.
So that's larger than life. I've reached out to a bunch of bands and kind of, starting to get that process going. Have a couple people shirt up for musicians. And I need to get in touch with Dog Orphans, Ron at Dog Orphans. I need to get in touch with Dance Sensations. Yeah, a few other things, but it's in motion.
How does the, like, do you have to find bands, or is it like word of mouth kind of thing that they kind of share amongst
It's
other bands?
a little bit of both. So we'll get some folks who reach out to ask to perform, and we have a space on the website that says, hey, interested in playing, like email here.
Yeah.
So we'll get some of those folks, and then we get some folks who have played in the past, or played a couple times and will ask to play again, and then it's me going out and researching, finding
So
music.
I have a brother-in-law who is a very active. He has 2 bands.
Nice.
Very big in like Millbury and
Cool.
surrounding towns
Yeah.
like that. Has a ton of contacts. They
Okay.
do acoustic stuff like every weekend, kind of like on a whim.
Yeah.
And they have other gigs and stuff like that. I mean, if you get to the point where like if you still need more spots to fill, and I need like
Do you want to send
good
me
musicians, I can send you
send
his
me
info
like
and
a place to listen to, or a
Yeah.
video or some music or something like
Yep.
that? Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's certainly like feeling the money pinch, right? Like last year was a rude awakening where for years we used to be able to get kids and local musicians who would play for a little bit of money sometimes. We'd be able to play for free a lot. Those days are over. We just can't. It's getting harder to get people to play for nothing. So just something to be aware of that. And I know in the past we've paid like cover bands, right? The big, sort of a big act, pretty good money, but even just like local amateur musicians wanting to get paid. So it's getting harder to do it for nothing. So keep fundraising.
I'm trying.
You're so good at it.
I'm trying.
You're so good at it.
Yeah.
Keep
You're so
begging.
good at it.
Keep begging. Yep. So, and then in terms of staging, we'll keep things status quo for this year. We'll get the Mason stage back on the lawn, right? I'd like to do it in the church lawn there in the middle. Maybe we can think a little bit more about what that looks like.
So do you want the Cook Street or the stage 2, do you want that one to be the normal stage that I used to put back up there with the awning on it? Because the last 2 years I put a small stage there.
Up next to Mason,
No,
the one down in Harry's,
the one, yeah.
just a single sheet. We'll
So
just do a
you
single
want the
sheet.
small version of that?
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
And then, just the single. Is it a single sheet?
No,
It's
It's-
two sheets.
it's 2, yeah.
Okay, so 8 by 8.
It's 8 by 8, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So just that down there, and then
And then the one up at Mason's is 8 by 8 also.
okay,
Because it's an easier.
yep,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, we'll do that.
Because the other one, when I put.
What we actually did the first year we did that, we actually had them playing on Keith's trailer. So they weren't even on stage. Trailer.
That's kind of cool.
It was kind of neat.
It was cool. Something different.
We've talked about doing that as more like an intimate setup, maybe on the grass with kind of everyone down at grass level. Are hay bales still crazy expensive?
I don't know, I'll have to find out.
Because again, it would be cool to like put some hay bales down for seating.
Let's find out. So, I'll see if, because hay bales were hard to get, they weren't just, they were crazy expensive, but that was because they were hard to get. It was bad for water that year, it was a drought, so hay
Yeah.
bales were less. You know, so they were expensive to get because they were rare, they were scarce.
Can we,
Why are you looking at me smiling? Guess who he's gonna ask to do something?
hey Mary,
Yeah.
can we put some food vendors up near that stage?
Well, I'm gonna see if we can get Center Bakery inside the lodge, which is gonna be really yummy.
But they're gonna, okay, so here's my thinking.
Okay.
So if we put some hay bales in front of the stage for people to sit down, the music's gonna be on the quieter side, it's like singer-songwriter stuff. And if there's food there, people will grab their food and then they'll migrate over and they'll sit down and they'll eat their food while sitting down. But they're only gonna do it if like the food vendors are there.
Right.
And I think that's gotta be our vendors, not necessarily that person. People will stay in the lodge, they'll eat there.
Right.
It might mean moving some people who aren't normally up there and putting them up there.
We were gonna have an ice cream, that's where the ice cream guy was gonna go,
That'd be good.
the truck.
Yeah.
That's where he was gonna go. So if you would picture where, because we have vendors coming up the street, okay? And they come up Depot Street.
Yeah.
So it goes, the vendors go all the way around. We were gonna put, right at the edge, we were gonna put the ice cream truck so that it faced in,
Yeah.
so that people could buy ice cream there,
That'd be
right
great.
at the end, right at the barricade.
It's great.
Except, okay, that it rained. The problem
So we
with
left.
putting food vendors up there, okay, is if we get iffy weather, you got a food vendor that's stuck up there all by himself, he's not gonna be happy. And see, the problem is we gotta map this all out before we know what the weather's like. So, so that makes it difficult. Typically, we put the food vendors on or in front of
Pleasant Street.
Pleasant Street, so that they're all in that particular area. The ice cream would have worked up there, okay, because the train goes by that. See?
Yeah.
Every 3 minutes, the train goes by the ice cream guy, you know? That would have worked nice.
Well, we're gonna have good weather.
Yes.
We're gonna have good weather.
Did you note that?
So,
Putting it in.
maybe, I don't know. Chew on
I plan
it?
on putting the ice cream guy there again.
Maybe, chew on it. Maybe one more. Maybe give me one more vendor up there, a food vendor up there. Because
Here's a
Part of
very,
this-
I have a very strange thought, so don't shoot the messenger.
Push the button.
What happens if we switched it around this year
Like what?
and put all the food vendors up
Up there.
towards the end and around the corner and had vendors where my food people are? I don't know,
I
I
don't hate
said,
that idea.
I said
don't think
it's-
that's a terrible idea.
it's just a thought.
I don't think it's a terrible idea.
Actually, you can't. And here's why, okay? Most of those food vendors, including the fire department, okay, use electric. And they take it out of my panel,
Okay.
okay?
All right, okay.
Well, but hold on. So, but run them up the road instead of down the road. Run them up the road.
I mean, they're right there for the plug-in. All of them that need electric for food are like right there at the
Right.
panel.
What about the others who don't need electric for food? What road is that? What road is that goes up? It's Cook Street? Is it Cook Street?
Pleasant Street.
Pleasant Street?
Do we offer electric so that it's not generators and you can't hear
Yes,
anything?
you don't want,
They have to pay for electric. They have to let us know exactly what they're doing. Otherwise, we're gonna be like, hey, you didn't say you were doing this.
Right.
Put it away.
Yeah.
Because that way we're on top of it, you know, of who had, like, the cotton candy downtown with the Cub Scouts has a generator. But it's his generator, so we know that goes around the corner. The Boy Scouts have their own cooking thing.
They don't need electric. but-
No, but the fire department does. Then you've got the Ray's French Fries, who definitely needs the electric.
Yeah. And then
The bricks are
there's the
still
one that
rust.
do baked potatoes, they need electric. And then there's one that does, they run something.
Thai food was there last year, and my understanding is people loved it.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I don't know, I didn't have any.
We
Christine did have some feedback for you, not you, for the fried dough. That the line is always so long for your fried dough, right? That it was like blocking off other, it's like in the middle of the road, right? So she was suggesting move your fried dough somewhere where the line can be long.
Stretched out.
Yeah, because people are gonna find it, you know.
I know, but you run into a couple problems when you do that, okay? One, okay, we have a vendor that specifically wants to be aside of the Frido because it draws such a big line.
Yeah, they do. They ask every
Sure.
year, put me next to the Boy Scouts.
Because-
Okay.
Because
Because it's busy
okay,
all day.
Boy, they're in line, okay?
Yeah.
They're in front of my booth, you
Could
know?
we stanchion the Boy Scout fried dough?
What?
Have like 2 rows of stanchions to
They,
kind of.
they actually do. They put out like a cone with a rope so that it makes kind of a line. So they actually do that. They don't do it right away. They don't do it at the start. They wait until they get a line and then they put up some cones. Because we put our cones there with caution tape to do that, so that it made a line.
So one thought, you have a handful of vendors who need electricity on Depot Street, right? At the
Pleasant
box.
Street.
Pleasant Street? Pleasant Street,
Yeah.
at the box. And typically we run the other food vendors down Pleasant Street, right, towards Main Street?
Yes, towards Main Street.
So maybe
And up Pleasant Street.
we run them further up Pleasant Street.
Well, we kind of already do that.
They're already going up?
Yeah, because the last one right in line, right up to the stairs of the church was the barbecue people.
Yeah. And then there's the French fry.
And then there's usually the French
fire
fry,
department.
and then
Fire department.
the church itself kind of juts out. And so then your food people would have to skip across the way and go up further.
But you couldn't give electric to any of those guys
Nope.
then.
Nope, it wouldn't reach.
The food vendors you're talking about, the fire department's not gonna wanna move,
Oh, no.
okay? And we can't move the french fries or now the barbecue guys because they have the same kind of trailer,
Right.
okay? They're gonna have to be where they were. So the ones that you're talking about moving are the ones that we put at the end of Main Street and Pleasant Street.
Okay, another thought.
You're on a roll.
What if we got signage? And put up signage? It's like,
Nobody
See-
reads signs.
Well, they're not big enough for one.
what signs?
Okay.
Nobody reads signs.
Big signs.
Nobody reads them,
Seating,
okay?
I don't know.
I'll give you an example. I have a sign that's like this,
It's not big enough.
okay? And it says, one word, restrooms with an arrow this way.
Never
okay?
seen that sign.
And it's
I haven't
on the
either.
edge of the library lawn.
Never seen it.
Okay, all right. It's on the edge of the library lawn, pointing to the porta potties that are right there, that you can see them without even the sign. And people walk right up to me, I'm standing at the sign, and say, where's the restrooms? And I point to the sign.
Mary gives you signs all the time. You never read them. Mary gives you signs all the time. You never read them. All right, fair enough. Okay, get me seating in front of the stage. Some hay bales or something.
Okay.
hay bales. Okay, so how many hay bales do we need for the event?
For the event total,
Yes.
a bunch,
Huh?
a bunch.
Really, John? All right. Start with main stage. How many do we use?
Main stage is just decoration, so like what, 6,
You really need 6?
4? I don't know.
1,
You
2,
just put a
3,
couple
4.
up.
I don't know, 6?
You don't need more than 6. You can get away with 5. One
Yeah.
on the stage, one on the ground in front of it, on each end, so there's 4, and one in the middle.
Will they even stay together? People sitting on them?
If they're new, this year's seasons, yes.
And put
Okay.
together properly, yeah.
But
It's after they get handled 4 or 5 times, they start to
got-
fall apart.
we- like the ones that we have to, we're schlepping around by the end of the night, they're falling apart.
Is it easier and
That's because they've been
cheaper?
sat on all day.
Is it easier and cheaper to put out and rent some chairs and put them out up there?
Yes. It's actually, it's actually better
Ambiance.
You're what?
Ambiance.
ambiance. Well, okay, well.
I get that, no, I get that, I get
Well,
that.
for decoration, yes, okay, but for seating, no. Last year, because I did, I had 200 chairs last year. They cost $1 a piece to rent. Okay? The neat part about chairs is we don't really have to, we don't have to pick them up. We don't have to handle them. The people that rent us stuff, they bring them, they're on a rolling cart, they drop them off, we can put them anywhere we want. Okay? And then they take them all home at the end of the day. We don't have to deal with them. The thing is, though, is I got 200 chairs last year, okay? And 100 of them, or 150 of them sat right on the racks all day long.
Well, part of it is, come 11 o'clock, it dried up and it was a spectacular day, tons of people, food sold out, yada yada, okay? But the crew itself is ridiculously busy that we don't
Yeah, I
have
don't-
time.
I don't have,
Yeah, you and me with the 2 people unfolding chairs at 9:30 in the morning. It can't be that way.
yeah.
We can't be the only 2 people doing that.
Yeah, I just can't put out those chairs by myself.
Well, let's put that on the volunteer list. We need someone at this particular time, and their job
The job is
with
to.
1 or 2 people is to put the chairs out.
Okay, so what we can do, so here's how we can do that, because I have, so we have plenty of chairs. What we can do then is you make, like, at the stage up there, how many chairs you want up there, and show us how you want them arranged, and we draw it out on a little thing. And then we do the same for main stage, and we do the same for the other stage if we want chairs down there, okay?
Well, if you want the ambience, why couldn't you put Keith's trailer with a little couple of hay bales on there? That, I don't know about the performers, but
Yeah, we
that
could.
does look super cool.
Yeah, we could.
Anyway, if you do that, then we get a volunteer, and they say, what do you want me to do? So you see this main stage? Take those chairs over there, and go set them up over at the stage. That way, you know.
Yeah, all right,
That way
here's
it's
some
real
more,
easy.
put them at the beer garden. Here's some
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
put them
This is
on.
what we want the beer garden to look like.
Okay.
This is what, that way it's real easy, instead of having, you know, because sometimes we do have volunteers, but I'm so busy, I can't even tell them, I'm too busy to tell them what I need, or
What are
show
you
them
doing
what I
that day?
need, you know?
What are you doing?
Standing next to the bathroom sign.
Yeah, I can't even find you. Probably drinking beer in the beer garden.
I don't get time for that.
Yeah, really.
You do.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, you do.
I've seen you. I know you.
Anyway,
That should be after the event for anyone on the committee.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Mary.
Yeah, you shouldn't have brought that up.
anyways,
Make sure the taps are working. Beer's not skunked.
Oh, I have nothing to do with that beer garden besides making it safe.
Well, okay, maybe, do you want to put tables and chairs up there?
I can, I have enough tables and I have enough chairs.
You just gotta get me, there's gotta be food close enough. Otherwise, they won't get used. People sit down at tables because there's food
If
nearby.
if the food, the baked goods work up there,
Yep.
and the ice cream,
Maybe. People will walk around with ice cream. Probably won't sit down. I mean, it's not that far, right? People will be looking for a place to sit. So if there's table and chairs and the food's not that far away, someone will migrate up there with their burger.
We can have 2 big signs, I agree with him on this. Really big signs. One on the end of Pleasant Street, one on the end of Depot Street that show stage, seating, and they point up that direction, because if the other tables are full, and then they'll see a sign that says there's seating with the big arrow going that way, that might help, but it's gotta be big, and it's gotta be in your face color, whatever, because otherwise, it'll be up nibbling people's toes and they just won't see it, because it's just so full and busy, which is not a bad thing, but we're just trying to make it easier for the people. That'd be nice if the lodge would do some soups or stews, actually, what, oh no.
Put a tent up there.
Talked about that before.
Put a big tent up there.
On the lawn?
Tables and
That's
chairs.
if they let you do that.
Who?
Well, we'd have to talk to Mason Lawn.
No, I'm talking about the church. The church lawn. The little triangle.
A tent to put the stage in?
I thought we had one, you said you had an easy up.
No, a tent, rent a tent. Big one.
Oh, that lawn isn't that big.
Really?
Yeah. How big?
I don't know how big
It
it
wouldn't hold more than, that won't hold more than, I don't know, 10 by 10, 20, 10, maybe 15 by 10.
You've got a decent lawn at the lodge. Now, they did expand their parking area a little more, or at least it just seems like that. But you've still, when you're looking at it and you get the sidewalk, there's that whole right-hand side still. If you have it more towards the street, people are gonna see that there's a tent there.
We wanted the stage, I get where we wanted the stage there, because it puts it between the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay, that's
like-
true.
Like you got
right.
vendors here, the street goes around, and that's
And
where
the
the train
church-
goes.
and the train goes
And then the
around.
train's literally going around the
Yeah.
stage, so I get that. That's.
Because
and-
when they played
and
on the
that
lawn, it
works
was too far
because
away.
we need electric, okay, to run the stage,
We do.
and we get it from the church.
Which is very
Okay.
nice, yes, we get that.
So-
All right, so you put, I love the idea of the trailer with the hay bales as the stage on the grassy area.
Mm-hmm.
Then put some chairs and a few tables out there on the end of at the street, right on the street.
Yep. Well, actually, we put it right in, like, the first part of that parking lot, because
There's
that,
parking spaces available just off the street there.
well, because that's where the parking, they have like those 5 or 6 parking
That's
spaces
big
there.
enough for us. This is big enough for a tent. This is big enough for a tent.
That, you know how big that really is? I can't put more than, you know,
It doesn't have to stay on the grass. You can go onto this parking lot space here. You know, you've got, come all the way down here with it, and then
there's kind of a tree in the way there. You see the tree?
it goes over the tree.
We can't cut the tree down to put a tent up.
We should go take some measurements.
Okay.
Because I think, so the signage, right? If there's a tent with tables and a band playing, people will migrate
Okay, well,
and go
all
sit.
right. So you want, there's no way you're gonna be able to fit a big enough tent there to put the stage.
No
and-
stage. Band plays on the ground. We're not talking about, in most cases, it's going to be a singer, one person with a guitar and a microphone.
Yeah,
So they just play on the ground.
in the tent though.
Yes.
And then put, that's not big enough for that.
Sure it is.
How many tables you want in there with chairs?
5, 6, 8.
Okay. We'll measure it, but it's not big enough.
Let's measure.
But you'd also just be having chairs on one side of the tables, right? Because you want them like looking at the musician.
Yeah, I don't know. It's ambiance. It's ambiance.
Okay.
Let's do some measurements. We'll see what we can fit. How big are the tables? 8-footers?
It depends on normally they're a 6-foot round table.
6.
Which means you can fit 8 people around.
Okay.
We have to do also more other things. It's gotta be a better way to say that, to draw people up to the end, besides the entertainment.
I think the vendors are gonna help, right? Because in previous years, we haven't quite gotten all the way up there.
Right,
And then when we finally got the numbers, it rained.
right.
So it just feels quiet. It's quiet. It's dead up there. And the same thing down the other direction, down towards Harry's. When the vendors are lining all the way down, it just feels busier. Right, like narrows in the street. That's good because it makes it feel more crowded, and it encourages people to keep going and walking up. So really, like the further we can get people up there with vendors, the further we can push vendors up the road, the more it's going to draw people up and around to walk up and around Depot and Pleasant.
I would really like to have, what's coming to mind for me is something for kids to do in a space up at that end. But also like an antique place that would take 2 or 3 spaces. And they got really cool stuff that's in there. We've only had an antique person once or twice in all the years.
Yeah, and she's not here anymore.
Yeah, they've moved on in
She's
life.
out of business.
Right. I usually ask the Burnett Mills every single year. And she checks into it, and she puts out the word to her
I
vendors,
have an idea.
and then nothing happens.
There's a new place in Sutton. We've been there for a year. District 5 house, and it's the same thing as like Burnett. Like it's curated booths in there. So she has the building, but within the building there are maybe like 15 curated booths.
Where is it in Sutton?
It's at Manchog, right across from the post office in Manchog.
The Manchog Mills?
Oh, it used to be like a designer place.
Yeah.
Near Pucky Hoe preschool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, not the
Yep.
Manchog Mills, the one literally across the street from the post office.
Okay, so do you want to
I'll
check
reach
that
out
out?
to her. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll reach out to her. So if she could put out the word and we could get a few handful of vendors who want to like set up a booth out there,
Right.
would be killer.
Just trying to think of different things, like in Sutton, they have that blacksmith. But I don't know what he could do at his booth.
What would be, could we get like a chainsaw carver?
He's loud. I would put him behind the library or something. He's really loud. But it would be entertaining and super cool, and I know you'd want to take an eagle home if he carved it.
I saw another
Well,
event.
but we could actually see if the Masons Lodge would let us do him on their lawn.
That's going to interfere with your entertainment.
Yeah, I'd rather not have a chainsaw screaming next to a person with an acoustic guitar.
Sorry, that wasn't, I didn't
But,
think of that part.
but if you decided to have the chainsaw guy and not have entertainment this year, he's still entertainment. Anyway, what was your other thought?
Yeah, so I saw at another event, a craft fair, that they, in order to encourage people to do demonstrations,
Right?
they offer either like a reduced rate on their vendor spot. That could be another thought.
We've already got 49 vendors. Um,
And maybe that's not a this year thing, maybe it's a next year thing, but
I don't think we have anyone so far that would be demonstrating anything
No,
yet.
it would be new, it would be the idea like we're trying to encourage new crafts people to come and say like, hey, we want you to display and do your craft, like.
At your site.
At your booth, at your spot. So either like running a demo or working during the day, displaying your craft somehow.
Like your friend that does the
Yeah, right, maybe he's like
Carving,
carving,
right.
carving a thing, or if I were doing woodworking, I'd, have a bench set up and doing some things, sort of like more engaging, interactive.
Well, if Jonathan wasn't so busy being a Boy Scout leader and helping out throughout the day, he does wood carving, but
No.
we got him elsewhere.
Yeah, this is about like increasing, right, casting out, increasing vendors, not just about the folks that we have.
I could put a chainsaw guy behind the library though.
You could.
We could. All right, so Tony's gonna check into,
Jeez.
Well, because they do some awesome.
Oh yeah, it looks. I'm sure it's awesome. It looks awesome, right? Yeah.
You carve a Yeti for your front yard.
oh, that'd be so cool.
While we're talking about vendors, have we done any like spot checking on MLMs? Because we had one last year, at least one.
We have a difference of opinions on that.
On what?
MLMs.
Some of them, I'm okay, personally, some of them, I'm okay with them coming in.
We did pass a policy though that.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to bring that policy back up. It's hard filling all these vendor sites as it is, okay? So, and if we do have something like that, we only have one of them. It's not like there's 20 Avon lined up. They're not, and they're intermixed with all the other vendors. Oh, I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking.
The rows.
So what's wrong with having a vendor sell Avon?
I thought there were two in here
So what-
already.
What's wrong with that vendor?
The nature of these companies is that they prey on people, not just to sell wares, but to recruit people to sell wares. It's a pyramid scheme. And so,
Well, it's not Amway.
but it is. It is like these companies, you can only, they promote that you can make money at this by selling these things inside. But by design, there is no money in that portion of the business and the selling the stuff. It's by getting people, by recruiting people to be beneath you in the organization. And so by supporting, by offering people vendor spots and supporting that, we are supporting an unethical, shady industry. And it has nothing to do with the people who are selling the wares. I'm sure they're certainly nice people, but it continues to promote and it continues to give air and oxygen to organizations like LuLaRoe, which are just incredibly slimy, unethical businesses. And we are certainly in alignment with numerous other festivals that do not allow MLMs to sell.
MLM.
MLM.
Multi-level
Multi-level
marketing. So, I don't know, I don't see anything wrong with, with an Avon sales lady selling Avon stuff from a booth. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, you see them at the Big E in Woodstock as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it's just,
Or even, so, yeah, part of their goal was not only to sell their Avon products, okay, but part of their goal was to sign up another, sales lady that, that will sell Avon products.
all the ones
So-
I have ever seen, whether it's Tupperware, Avon, I don't know anything about LuLaRoe, but basically, they are not trying to get someone to join under them. They want people to have DEMs so that they go to their house and sell their wares. They're not there, from what I've seen of the ones that I've attended, and even when I go to a craft show, they're there.
Who have we taken in that was an MLM?
All right, we have.
The woman selling LuLaRoe stuff. That LuLaRoe is the
It's a clothing
the
something,
MLM.
right?
And but
They're
she
going
was,
out of business, they're
but sh-
done for.
She was under a different. She filed under a different name. She didn't file under
Ah.
LuLaRoe. She filed under, some whatever
Right.
clothing type, whatever she was, and
We have one that's Tastefully Simple.
And what did they do?
They sell spices and food.
so
Okay.
it wasn't her.
And this is what we have for this year.
It was the one. It was the.
I don't
the
have anyone-
vendor- I know exactly where she was. She was up Pleasant. No, up.
I got my map.
Oh, I can tell you.
It's a little wrinkled from last year.
Where am I? Congra. She was.
Don't
Yeah,
go drawing
no,
on my
not
map.
her. She was
In that,
she was like 81, 82, 83 for one of those.
182. Terry Arsenal didn't show up. I would have to, what I do is I take all my vendor forms once I send off.
Are they listed on? Do you have them listed in the numbers? Or are those
I
just
have their
names?
names, but I don't have what they did. That's in the applications in an envelope, put away. Because once I'm done of last year, and the very first thing I do the following year, is send off new vendor forms to my list of vendors from last year. They're top priority, so those go out. Once those go out and they don't bounce back to me, they go in a manila envelope and they get put away. So I would have to go home and look her up. I also mark my jewelry to make sure my jewelry are not close to each other. Douglas Athletic Boosters, I think, is only doing one site this year. They used to do 3.
So, I'm like searching a little bit here, like looking at like Avon, for example, and it seems like there may be some more ethical or less ethical MLM structures, right? And so, it seems like Avon, this site is saying it's kept itself in the ethical side of things by focusing product sales.
Same with Tupperware, yep.
And
Yep.
Tupperware is similarly,
Yep.
right? But we also know that there are plenty of companies that are on the unethical side of MLM, like, what was the knife company? Cutco or whatever, it was like some knife company, like clearly LuLaRoe is on that side. So maybe we have some discretion, in like who we're saying yes to and no to. I would be a hard no on like a LuLaRoe vendor, like clearly an unethical company, and I don't want to be an organization that supports gives any sort of oxygen to a company like that.
Well, I have a question about that. I see where you're coming from. My question is I thought that company was pretty much gone. So whatever people are selling is their overstock of product and they're just trying to get rid of their product.
Until the company is defunct.
Well, I thought the company itself was pretty much done and gone.
I don't know. If they are great, then that person can sell whatever tights
Okay.
they want.
All right.
But if that company is still
Okay.
breathing, then
All right, so I will check into that. I don't even know how to spell that.
L-U-L
A-R-O-E?
R-O-E. L-U-L-A-R-O-E.
Okay. Yeah, if I get a vendor that is not doing DEMS anymore, she's just trying to get rid of her product, just to get rid of it, would that be okay with you? She's not promoting the company, she's not buying any more product, she's just trying to sell what she has overstock of, because she's done with doing the business.
I mean, how do we know, how do we know that's the case? We take them at their word that they're not recruiting anymore? I don't know.
Well, it depends. If a person is coming in and buying a booth with the intention of signing up other people, then they're gonna wanna rent or do the booth.
It has to be on their form.
Right? So we can do research on them to find out,
Okay,
right?
all right.
Yes, and I think this vendor last year is a good example of someone who can sort of fly under the radar, right? Because it seems like nowhere on the registration form or the vendor form was there anything about LuLaRoe, for
Right.
example. Right, she's selling as her own company, and,
All right, okay,
so keep those people away.
all right.
And we're not talking, to your point, Mary, I can appreciate it's hard to get vendors, and it's one vendor, We're talking a
Yeah,
small
it's
number.
A very small number.
We'll replace those people with good, good people, people who are making stuff out of chainsaws.
I try, and I need help with this, and that's gonna be in, can you please put that in your press release, and everyone, talk to everyone. I have gone to vendor forms specifically with a folder of Oktoberfest forms, and I look at what they're doing, and I watch. I don't just, so I want to make sure they're not doing that, and that we like their product and everything, and that we don't have them already. And I give them a form and I talk to them. Well, one of the ones was at the Gendron Dudley Post in Sutton, and I handed a form to someone, and she talked it up to the person next to her, so she wanted a form, and then the next person wanted a
That's
form. But that's, a lot of times, I'll go to craft shows and other vendor places just to try to get people interested in Oktoberfest, coming
And
to
it's-
Oktoberfest.
and it's
And if they're
working.
doing something that no one else is doing, I'm like, I don't have anyone doing this.
And it's working, because last year we had 130 plus vendors. So we're getting more and more people, and it's great.
But I would like to have, some of the old favorites are the old favorites.
Sure.
Like Kevin Walker brings his sports cards every year and sets up in front of the library, so he doesn't even get a number. He gets his initials on the street. And then, so you have some of your favorites, and then it's always nice to have something new, something different, and I'm searching out there. I even go online, for instance, I went to Shepherd Hill and went down their website of who could possibly I contact and say, hey, would you be interested? And I send them the vendor form via email.
Yeah. We'll get there. We're doing great. You're doing
Well,
great.
I do need help with other people saying, hey, you do a good job on that. Do you want a form?
Mary, I have.
Steve's got you.
I have a contact in Holden. She has her own shop, but she owns the building, and it's similar to, I think, what you were talking about,
Yeah.
with vendors coming in. But I mean, I've seen some of her vendors on Chronicle. I've seen some of her vendors, a buddy of mine from high school is a vendor of hers. it's people that make, they have a gift, they have a talent, and they make these things, you know, whether it's, you know, an artistic piece, if it's coasters, if it's dog biscuits made out of, you know,
Yep.
beer hops stuff, like it's like people come to her, so I can reach out to her,
Absolutely.
have her reach out to her
Okay.
vendors, and I can get you in touch with her, and that could broaden that net.
You have to send Steve an application.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're in Holden, I can go there, you know, this weekend or next weekend and
Yeah.
talk with her.
Let's do it, let's go right now.
I'm game, we're out of here.
Field trip.
My brain's all over the place. So,
ADHD?
the dog races,
Yep.
I was thinking about getting
jeez.
someone else to announce it and do the color commentary.
MC it.
To MC it. Keith and I usually do it, or Keith does it, you know, whoever, but, I'm busy, you know, also don't really want to get up there and do it, so thought about having someone else do it.
Well, I do have a question. Now, Keith did say, now, like, Keith's not on the committee or whatever, but is he gonna be around? Can we like,
No.
volunteer for the day?
No,
He wants no part of it.
yes,
Okay. All right.
yep, he is, wants to leave his options open. So my thought was to get someone of name recognition to do it. So it's sort of like a double draw, right? You get like, come see the doggies, do their thing, but also we've got this like person who.
Is this gonna cost me anything?
No.
Well, that's a good thing. I'm gonna put this right in here.
Okay.
With
Like,
no
I was thinking like a
cost.
town person.
A
Oh,
town person.
Yeah.
Okay.
are you,
Who do you have in mind?
he doesn't wanna say because it would be on tape and you haven't talked to
No, I
them
mean, I
yet?
haven't talked to them yet, but the chairman, the selectman guy, what's his name?
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin Morse.
Kevin.
I don't always see him at Oktoberfest much.
Well, yeah, but this
If
one-
you're, if, usually, okay, now, he has done things, he has, like.
He might
came out
enjoy
and did
it.
the-
Yeah, I think he might.
Might, okay, but also what happens is, you know, an event that brings out 90% of the town, if you're selectman, you just don't want, you don't want to be that accessible.
Well,
Sometimes.
we have
Nope.
Max that's usually in our fried dough booth.
We do have a Boy Scout, you know, one of our Boy Scouts that's selectman now, so.
I play softball with them.
Max,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So, he's a selectman, he's a face.
Yeah. One of the reasons I was thinking about Kevin is that Kevin is
Yes.
extroverted and gregarious and outgoing.
Okay.
He would make for a good color commentator.
He has a sense of humor.
Yes.
His little comments are funny.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So I could see him having a good time.
You can certainly ask.
him,
And-
and then maybe get one more person, so it's
Yeah.
a back and forth.
Matter
I
of
that-
fact,
I have a number.
all of the selectmen
Yeah,
are free
yeah.
game.
My brother-in-law, that's the singer in his band, like, he is just that. Like, very personable and funny and comfortable, confident people, can carry a conversation, tell a
Alright.
story, all that.
All,
So,
all of the selectmen
All
should be
right.
free game.
Okay.
I just have to make sure he doesn't have a gig on that day, but,
Yeah.
but usually his gigs are at night, so,
Alright.
you know, it could work out, so.
Yes, that's my idea for the dog races.
Okay.
And again, like, trying to, also free myself up, so I'm not having busy to
Now-
do
now,
something.
That could make it
but-
fun.
well,
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing about that. Now, that will work, except that the dog races require some setup,
Yes.
okay? The easy
Which I'll still
part-
be there to do.
Huh?
I'll be there to do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, I was gonna say that.
But it just doesn't mean
Because-
me standing on the stage to then have to do
Yeah,
it.
so, yeah, if he's just filling in the role of being the commentator, that's a whole different
Yeah.
thing than.
That's all
It
I
just
want.
made it easy because you and, like, when you and or Keith not only did the commentation part, but you were also involved in the setup.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Happy to be a hand muscle behind the scenes kind of thing.
On the dog race, in the notes, it says DraftKings will be sponsoring the dog race. Is that a typo?
What does it say?
It says DraftKings will be sponsoring the dog race.
Let me see.
I underlined it.
Probably my mess up.
I suggested it. I was like, hey, it'd be kind of fun if we did. And then I'm like, I read that. I was like,
That was in my minutes. So that's why I put it. I don't even know who the DraftKings are.
Somebody had mentioned that they
Right.
would find and see if they could get DraftKings to be a sponsor for the dog race.
it was just a suggestion. And I saw that. I was like, wow.
I think you
What do you
volunteered.
know?
I think you volunteered to do that, right?
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think it
I was
was.
gonna
I
say,
think it was a long shot, but okay. All right.
We gotta take that.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who the DraftKings are.
It's
Online gambling.
online gambling. It's now.
Oh,
official.
goodness gracious.
It's legal. You can do it on your phone now and everything.
Yeah. So am I putting that in the minutes that you're going to ask?
I have no idea.
It was in the minutes, so I typed it up as it was written.
Yeah, as I read that, I was like, whoa.
Because I didn't know who they are.
Don't
Now-
pay for it.
Yeah. The only person that I can think would even come up with that idea would have been you.
Yeah, probably.
I'm an idea guy.
Now I don't know whether
And
I'm,
here we are weeks later with nothing.
okay.
Alright, moving on.
Yep.
That's it for entertainment.
Have you heard from Ron at all?
No.
I have heard from Douglas Animal Hospital. She's been very cooperative and helpful. Very helpful. Okay.
There was some mention of rebuilding a gate or something.
Yeah, we need to build a gate and fix the fence
The
situation.
sideways.
Yeah.
That's in the minutes.
Okay. Are we ready to discuss like logistical things like containers and
Wait.
moving stuff around?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you want a new topic?
Yes.
Yeah,
New topic.
new topic.
I'm done. Let's do that.
Well, because we can
Yeah,
talk
you
about.
done, John?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done here.
Are you done?
Oh, yeah.
Well, my last question about entertainment then, okay, is when can I start working on a program?
Funny. You're funny. Not yet.
You do know that I do want to be able to publish a program.
And then leave them at home?
You know why I left them at home? Because they were created 12 hours before the event. Okay?
They were drying.
Because it doesn't make any
Makes
difference.
the ink was drying.
I want to be able to put these out 4 weeks before the event.
It's a bit of a stretch, but we'll see. I'll try.
It would be nice to be able to take the programs and put them in businesses downtown in other towns. Because a
Yeah.
lot of them will let you tape them to their windows.
Yeah.
I do want to get it out way ahead of time.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay.
But you could just make a flyer. You don't need an actual, like, who's playing.
True.
You could just put like the carnival style flyer. Put that up.
Especially, or you're definitely going to have somebody who's like that you would consider your premier band for the day, right?
Yeah.
Your so-called headliner or something that we already know we're going to have so that we can advertise him. You already know who's going to play in the beer garden,
Sure.
you know? So we can advertise those things up on a flyer, get
Yeah.
that out like
Right.
4 weeks ahead of time,
Definitely you could do that.
all right?
For sure.
All right. Okay, so, all right. Container.
So container, been in contact with highway towing and recovery,
Yep.
based out of, I believe it's Upton. Spoken with Bobby, who's the owner, and I've shared pictures with him of the current container, where it is, so he can get an idea of access to get to it. Showed him pictures of where we would want it to go, so he could again, figure out what's needed. He's a go. He's gonna let me know probably within the next 2 weeks. He's trying to base it upon when he's gonna be sort of in the area and have that, piece of equipment available. I told you the price that he, ballparked.
Yeah, that was $400.
$400.
There was more money.
So on my way here,
Sponsor.
I was wondering,
You
Is
go
it
get some
something that-
sponsors.
I mean, it's a small container, small-ish. Is it something that could be moved with town equipment? Or is that like a no?
Highway department.
Right, is that a no-no? Like,
Well, we are a town committee.
Well, okay,
Do they reflect?
we have, well, we have equipment that we can, there is heavy equipment that will be able to move it and push it around, okay? But not necessarily drive it there.
Why?
Like, I don't think,
I got a couple dollies.
huh?
I have a couple dollies.
well, one of the major sponsor people I had in mind does have access to a flatbed that it probably could go on.
Okay,
So it's a thought. I mean, you know, the $400 is great. Like he could do it, but it's like, okay, well, still that's $400. Like, you know,
Will he put it exactly where we want it? For $400?
yeah.
I'd say let's do it.
Spend it.
The only thing we need to
That's
do is just make sure that it's empty. You know, I told him there's only a few things in it right now.
There's
but,
a couple
you know,
things in
when
it.
the time comes, we will.
As
have
long
it
as
emptied
I
out.
know,
Yep.
like, if I knew that he was coming to pick it up tomorrow,
Yep.
I'd get a crew there to empty it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's only 2 or 3 things in there right now currently.
Yep. And that was one of his questions, but I'm like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically empty. And like I said, I showed him photos of it, so he's comfortable with that.
What's the name of the place again?
It's Highway Towing and Recovery.
He doesn't want to do it as a kindness of his heart.
I
It's a
was-
tax
I
write-off?
was hoping he would kind of offer that, but
I'll make him some homemade chicken soup. Oh, man. Takes me 6 hours to make my homemade chicken soup,
Free
and it'll
beer
cure
on October
anything.
7th.
Oh, so you guys.
Yeah, I mean, my vote's pay the money, that way we're not worrying about having to corral other people, and he'll put it
I'd
exactly
say
where we want it.
it's just done that way.
All right, well, 3, 4, 1 disagrees.
okay. And then I'll get with you right when I get the date from him and just make sure, because I want to be there when he does the pickup, but
Yep.
also when he, you know, puts it where it needs to go, so we'll make sure that it's the way
Yep.
that we
Yep.
want it and need it, so.
Yep.
Are we gonna have the 2 doors face each other, is that the plan?
Yeah. They were actually intended that way. Like, if the, I don't, we may not even open them up, but they were intended, they were, the cutouts in a match,
Yeah.
so that, because they were together, so that you could walk from one to the other.
The term is double wide.
So when I'm in the doghouse, I can sleep.
Yeah.
I can sleep in the monster trailer.
And then, you know, the trailer will be all excited because
Maybe
that's
you're in
the
the
sister
doghouse.
right there. Right? So, I'll be back
I'm
together.
putting the word
When Tony's in the
double wide.
doghouse, you can ship him off to the shipping
The
container.
double wide?
There's no room in them.
Well, there is
will
now,
be
because
no
we're gonna
room.
have 2.
There won't be, no.
No, when you guys get in there and build the shelves and do everything you have to, everything's
Let's
gonna
do
be put
shelves.
in there nicely. You
Don't look at
place-
me, I know how to pack the thing. Wasn't me, it's Keith.
It's Keith. Let's blame Keith.
Was,
We'll blame Keith.
for sure.
Well, he's also
I
not here to
second.
defend himself. Yeah, there you go. I wasn't there, so I can't say. But I mean, we still have stuff at our house
Yeah, me too. I'm getting a collection of stuff in my house now too.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You gave me your smile. It's my turn to give you my smile.
I don't want it.
Well, you gotta store it
all right, so,
someplace. We'll
when
work on
we-
that then.
when we move that there, and once that's there and we build shelving and stuff, we're gonna pull stuff out. We're gonna look at stuff that needs to repair. It's still on the schedule for doing sometime, you know, when we organize up that container there. So once
Yeah.
that container's there, you know, that way we don't have to handle this stuff twice, so
Okay.
3 times. And then we'll take a look at, what we have for the dog races, and then we need some dimensions so we can build a gate.
Yep.
All right. Anything more on container logistic stuff? No?
Did you say something about like concrete floor or something like that, or?
Well, no, it doesn't have to be concrete, but what happened is the container, and you can
Yeah.
take a look, but we had a leakage problem there, so
Yeah.
if you remember what those containers look like in the front, there's like a hardwood floor on the bottom,
Yeah,
right? Well, over in the corner, there's a hole that rotted through. So we gotta fix that,
Okay.
okay?
I was gonna say that I'm helping a neighbor with forming a sidewalk, and there's gonna be extra concrete.
Then
but-
we can, what we can do is once this is in place,
Mhm.
you can just pour concrete in there and fill up that hole, and then that problem's over.
Okay. All right, just keep that in mind.
Okay, so that's, that's how I was gonna repair it, is just put concrete in it. So, that's that one. Beer garden, okay? It looks like we're gonna be able to do beer garden in the Jenks store lot again. We are gonna, the Boy Scout troop has been actually asked to help clear some of that brush out there, that big brush
Wonderful.
pack. So we're
That's
gonna,
great.
we're gonna clear that back and make a bigger space.
Oh, clear the brush.
Huh?
The brush.
You remember that
No, no, I
brush
know,
that goes
I
to
know,
the,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna clear that whole area up for them.
I thought you were saying the branch.
That too.
Great.
Okay, so we're gonna go in there and clean up that lot.
Beautiful.
They wanted to clean up that back brush and stuff anyway, so I had told her that I talked about some really low-hanging branches in there that kind of, make the area a little weird. So we're gonna take care of some of that a little bit too, so it'll open the area up. We may be able to get a full-size tent in there
Beautiful.
based on that. So, but it looks like we're gonna be able to use that area again. And we're gonna have the opportunity to clean up that space anyway, so that'll help. Greater Good has signed up to do it again with Atlas, because Atlas is the middleman that we use to get to them. That's
Did we-
gonna require a field trip.
Did we reach, a reasonable, outcome with the beer situation last year?
Yes.
We had some partly empty containers or something?
They took them all back and they credited us with.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm happy with everything they did. Once we get the contacts and stuff worked out, then it worked. There was a lot of confusion around pickup.
The distributor and,
Yeah,
yeah.
but we got that all ironed out, and great, and Atlas got involved, and they gave us credit for what we returned to them that we didn't use, and
We
that whole bit. So all of that was worked out.
We should maybe think a little bit about how much we've used Keith's property basically in the past for housing stuff, right? Drop off and after event and whatever. It's something we should just be cognizant of as we're thinking about. Case in point, all of the beer at the end of the night went to goes to his house,
Yeah,
right?
that won't
It's
happen
gotta-
again.
it's gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, we'll
I'll volunteer.
we'll drop it off. We'll drop it all off at Steve's house.
Step up. Guy.
I'd like to,
Nominate Steve for landing and beer.
No, we'll figure out the logistics of that this time, but. Anyway, so, we're gonna have to figure out what do we wanna offer from them, from Greater Good this time.
Yep.
So that may require a field trip.
I've been doing other research that will prove very beneficial for that field trip.
So we'll do that.
I have.
Well, I'm laughing at all three of you because you can look at their list and say, we want that one, that one, that one.
I did some training tonight at 6 o'clock.
Let's talk about the soda booth.
Soda jerk.
Yeah. What about it?
Liam is tentatively in to run it.
Can we have a, yes, Liam, you'll do it?
He's 17. He doesn't commit to anything.
So it's a maybe?
He's a yes, as much as a yes as a 17-year-old can give.
All right, well, all right,
Or
okay.
16-year-old.
I adore Liam, I do, and he does a great job there. Him and his friends, they look adorable.
So it's actually his buddy's off to college next year, so that's, well,
But I need
that.
soon, I need a definite yes to whoever's gonna do it, so we don't have to worry about, oh gee, changed my mind, something came up. And it doesn't work when an event that brings 15,000 people to it.
So even if he says, yes, I'm in, there's a chance he could still bail because he's 16. And a 16's yes is only as good as,
Nope, your word is your word. If you say you're gonna do
know
it,
that,
unless you're
Mary.
extremely sick, 16
know
or
that.
not. Liam, are you listening to me, son?
I'll feel him out.
So what was his involvement last year? I mean, he was
Dressed up and ran the booth all day and then worked for tips.
and knew how to change things out or fix things on the fly.
No,
Okay,
he just poured soda and
Okay.
collected money.
all right.
Yeah, so
Was that his first year doing it?
No, last year was his
No,
second.
Second.
Okay.
second year?
But it is something if we needed, if he did have another commitment last minute, someone could be trained.
Oh yeah, actually running the thing is not rocket science. It's just pumping. It's pouring soda and then
Okay.
pumping syrup in. Yeah.
But he did it well in a couple of years under his belt and, okay.
Yeah.
You volunteering your daughter?
We're gonna have to talk about, what flavors we want, so we can order those in.
Do that right now?
Yeah, what did we have last year?
Do we have any
What else do
left
we have?
over that's still good? They're only good for so long.
I have to pick through them and take a look, because the dates on them are different,
Cola.
yeah.
What sold well?
Root beer, cola,
Root beer.
Oh,
Orange.
Liam, what sold?
Orange.
orange.
The brown flavored one. The orange flavored one.
Was it grape? Was it purple?
There was no grape.
We did have a cherry
We did have a cherry syrup,
syrup.
because you can blast that into the Coke and make a
Yeah.
cherry Coke. So we did have that, and that went,
And then did diets do well? Any of the diets?
diet, you'd have to have a diet cola, okay?
You have to have a diet of something.
Yeah.
And
Cola, root beer, orange, diet cola, and some cherry and
How-
vanilla.
How did the morning dew do? The morning dew?
The morning dew,
Yeah.
Is that a flavor?
we,
Like Mountain Dew?
yeah, it's,
No, please,
Oh,
please,
okay.
please. The morning dew. Yeah, how did the Mountain Dew flavor do?
The lemon lime flavor, how did that
There
do?
you go, lemon lime.
well, we toss some.
Ooh,
Because once it's open, I have to toss it. So,
Yeah.
so,
would you want it
you
again?
start out with a gallon of syrup, right? So when you open it, it doesn't matter how many you've sold, you have to toss the rest of that. So I did toss,
Yeah.
I did toss some Diet Cola, and I tossed
Lemon lime.
the lemon lime thing there.
So where do you get these flavors, or where do you get
There's
the stuff?
a company that I forget the name of the company, but there's a company I buy the gallon things of syrup from.
Okay.
Right. And I still have some unopened one, and I have to check the expiration dates on them and see.
I think it went a lot further than we thought it would.
Yes.
We bought a bunch, and turns out that 1 gallon of syrup actually goes quite a ways.
We
So-
still have to remind whoever works that little booth. They're gonna look adorable. They have to shake. They have to stir or shake the soda, otherwise it just doesn't taste well.
Yeah, they also gotta put the syrup in first and then afterwards. That was another.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's a great solution. Put the syrup in first and then the soda water mixes it all in.
Yeah.
Works for
And
me.
then the ice.
That sounds messy.
Then the ice?
Yeah.
No.
Ice
Ice
is gonna
first. Ice, then syrup, then soda.
Okay.
Ice is gonna spill soda everywhere.
Because,
Yeah,
because
bees.
it's gonna be full, you gotta be like, where are we gonna put the ice?
Right.
So, ice. You're up.
So I think we're good.
Yeah, when we get to the next steps, you and I can
I think you might
sidebar on this and,
need to meet with Keith and figure out the actual setup and how it works. Some of the stuff was his, and some was ours.
And we have to figure that out, actually, so, because if we're gonna replace what was his,
Yeah.
so that, then we're gonna have to do that soon.
He was the one who
Yeah.
also got us the CO2 tanks, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can get the CO2 tanks from Atlas,
right,
right?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So here's another thing that this didn't occur to anybody. The setup runs with a still, a copper still. It's a bunch of copper wire. The water runs through it. You stick the whole thing in ice. It's like basically a cold plate, and it's what some beer. When you're pouring beer, like it runs through the still, and it's enough to chill the beer in the ice. Well, beer has alcohol in it, and beer has a lower freezing temperature
right,
than water.
yeah. I think I remember you saying that.
So it didn't occur to anybody that water is running through the still, and it froze inside the still last year because it wasn't pouring often enough. So something to be cognizant of as we're thinking about like this setup
Yeah.
is you actually can't chill it too much.
Right. Could we
Because
put ice and water into that instead of it
that's what
just
it
being ice?
is. It's both. It is water and ice.
Oh,
But enough water and ice at some point, it turns it to 32 degrees.
Mhm.
It's just gonna freeze. So,
good.
So we can do this, okay, we can figure out what temperature that's supposed to be, as opposed to 32 degrees.
yeah, probably like 40 degrees, right?
Then-
Or like 30, 37
Then
degrees.
we should put a metal thermometer in there so that you can keep a watch on it. Right?
I think as long as you have more water than ice, you know, the ice will keep the water cold, but if you have more ice,
Too
it'll
cold.
freeze it. So as long as we keep that, you know, more water available in that
All right.
still.
So more water than ice.
Yeah,
So you want it cold, but not
Right.
freezing,
right.
because then it freezes. Unless it's a really hot day and they're pouring a lot, then
Right.
the water trickling is gonna keep,
Yep.
yeah. Lesson learned.
And that's adjusted, I'm assuming
We
we
had-
could make those
we had-
adjustments during the day, right?
We
Like,
had the opposite of that happen in the beer garden, where the cold plate got too warm, and the beer foams up.
because people weren't drinking fast enough.
Yeah.
I saw you in there trying your best.
I'm trying to get it flowing.
Yeah, you're trying to get it going. Yeah, it's not working. It's all foamy.
He's looking at me going, don't get mad at me.
No.
I'll help you with that this year.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
We are looking for a second bouncer. The one that we usually have
I need, I do
is
need another
occupied.
bouncer.
We have one of our bouncers, we need a second bouncer.
Do they have to be 18 plus?
They have to
Yes.
be 18 plus. They have to be actually 21 plus.
Okay.
Do we want to revisit the line situation, the beer line?
Okay, what are your thoughts?
Well, it moves slow. That's the problem.
Oh, it moves slow because we had pouring issues.
Okay.
As I'm constantly asking the two people that I have pouring in there, and they don't have a problem with the way it goes now,
Okay.
all right?
So once the beer is pouring, it's good.
Yes,
the line's
once the
moving?
beer's pouring, it's good. They don't,
Okay.
you know, it's only when they have trouble with, you know, it foaming up and stuff, and they
Then their
can't get a
hands are-
good
then their
pour
hands
out
are
of it. Yeah, then that makes serving beer hard, and then you get a line.
Okay.
One of the things that I'm gonna do this year, though, that I didn't have last year, is I'm gonna have some big, glass pitchers, okay? And the reason for that is because even when it's pouring bad, okay, if I fill up that pitcher, then it'll disperse, and then I can pour out of the pitcher, okay? So that'll help if we have an issue,
Okay.
all right?
Is the beer cash only? I'm trying to remember.
Yes,
And the 2 servers are also the cashiers.
yes.
They're both certified, bartender certified, and the soda jerk is also cash only.
Okay. But I was thinking, like, what if you had, like, to the right of the bar, you had, like, a ticket place where they could say, okay, I
The
want 4
the bartenders
beers.
don't want to do that,
Okay.
okay?
Tips.
Yeah.
They get better tips when they do.
Mhm.
Because if you take them, if you take that part away from them, then they lose the tip,
Okay.
you know?
They make a good, they have a good thing.
Right. So let us know when the field trip is to, make sure we're picking the right product.
Yeah. It'll be after we do all the work on the container.
Did we, no, we only had one pourer for some number of time?
No, we only had one bartender because the other one couldn't show up, but we did have a greater good person there.
Pouring?
Pouring.
And you were pouring for a little bit too.
I did but I have the license, I have the thing. So I was able to help fill in when she had a problem with it pouring on the other side.
Is it worth exploring a third bartender?
I don't think they would like that. When it's working and it's running smooth, they're good. They're quick, they're good, they know, they're good at what they do. It's when there's issues with the foam and one of the bartenders had a last second, she couldn't attend.
Yeah.
And
Now,
we couldn't find another one.
Fortunately, I had a greater good person there, okay? They were able to help with the money too behind that part and help pour. I was able to help with a rush, when they did a rush too, I was able to pour there. And then, but it worked. This year, supposedly, we have both of them coming back. And then if it gets slammed again, I can still pour it, because I have the pouring thing too.
Tips, yeah.
And so will the great good person. They can jump right in there and pour.
Yep.
I only see the beer garden at the very beginning when they're setting up, and at the very end when it's all being cleared up and the ice is being taken care of. That's all I see.
Okay, next.
You won't see any of it at all this year.
Nope, I will not.
Well, you're not gonna be there.
Nope, I will not. You're gonna miss me, aren't you? Look at your face! Yeah, I won't be there. I cannot attend.
It's not gonna be there.
That's a
Everything's gonna be
panic.
set up ahead, she's gonna do up all this stuff ahead of time, but
Yep.
she's not gonna be there that day.
My
Who's gonna
map.
yell at the vendors?
I'm going to have the person, I'm going to talk with the person who's been helping me for years, and if Kara is doing it, Kara Marchand is exactly what we need. She's helped me for years. She can handle the whole situation. What she needs is another person where she was my backup. She would need a backup because you're putting out little fires, especially in the morning.
So we're gonna have to get we're gonna have to get a volunteer that we can assign to vendors that day.
All right.
Okay. So,
What's next?
all right, prizes.
Working on it, doing our best. We do have some.
We do have some prizes. We're gonna have to find a place to put them.
Let's get those containers fixed.
No.
Well, the thing is, we have things that cannot become musty or anything like that. So, and we've got some nice prizes already. And they need to go to a place that they are protected, and then,
And they should go to the person that's gonna do them up.
we love you, John.
I just don't feel it right now. I know that to be true, but I just don't feel it right now.
You just
Oh, do
don't
you need
feel
a
it right
hug?
now?
I was gonna say that.
Do you need a group hug?
All right, I guess give me prizes over there. Not right now. But like next.
Please not right now.
Next meeting, I guess.
They have to move from where they're at.
Where
They
they
can't
at?
stay where they're at.
Where are they at right now?
They're at my Boy Scout home.
Oh, it's a nice place.
No, it's not. It's a construction zone.
So they need to be moved.
Are they, that's weird, are they boxed?
They're boxed and bagged,
Okay.
but they're not in a sealed container.
Well, they're gonna go to my basement, and I have a workshop in my basement, so stuff does get dusty.
Smells like wood chips down there, right?
Yeah, it's dusty, so,
Can you just throw a tarp over them or
yeah, I mean,
something?
as long as it's like boxed, they'll be fine.
Is there like a locked room here or something that?
It's too much stuff. So boxes and boxes.
Would be nice if we had a spot.
Yeah, we should have like an office downtown or something.
And who's gonna pay for
To
that?
have one of those.
All right, what's next? Rides and games.
All right,
Let's keep
Wait,
this
wait, wait,
moving.
I'm still,
rising games. So when can we deliver those? Tonight?
No. Can you give me like 2 weeks?
no,
I'm going on vacation next week, so I'll be home next
just
week.
give me a key to your house.
It doesn't have.
Really?
Did you change the
You
locks?
wouldn't trust me with the key? Oh,
You
No,
don't,
my
you don't need
basement's a
a key to
mess.
his house. He never locks the door. You can just walk right in.
That's true too. That's true.
To say if you didn't change the locks, I probably still like it.
that's true. Okay, so,
You
Can't wait 2
get
weeks.
Steve's garage.
I don't have a garage.
Really can't
he
wait 2
doesn't,
weeks?
he just has a ranch.
Can't wait 2 weeks?
You've been to my house.
Not where they're at. The odor and all that stuff, they can't. If-
Fine,
if-
this week. Come this week.
If we could put them in a sealed container that was sealed, it wouldn't be as much of a
All right,
problem.
this week. You can bring them this week.
This week?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Worst meeting ever.
I'm gonna have to go train after this meeting.
All right.
Stop for flowers.
All the bounties, rides, tables, all of that stuff is ordered again. So those are all in place. So, they're booked.
Tables, chairs.
Pretty much the same stuff we got last year.
Tents as well?
Huh?
Tents as well?
Actually, well, the tent that we had last year is not on the order. It specifically added that just for the rainy spot. However, okay, I may put it back because we might use it at the beer garden if we have enough spots.
Space, yeah.
But you also were talking about a tent for the other place.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. So they would be the ones that supply it and go set it up. So we're gonna have to measure it to figure that out.
We also would need approval from
The
the
church.
church.
Yeah.
I am going to have to replace, I think I mentioned this, the dark guy. You know, going up Depot Street, part of the side of the church has vendor space with a dirt spot, and the dark trailer gets set back off the street. He's not coming this year, because the
spots?
weekend
2 or
is
3? How many spots is that?
3 or 4.
3 or 4?
So it would be nice to have something really cool there.
Yeah, like the pulled pork guys.
I think they're gonna wanna be with the food.
The barbecue guys.
And I'm not sure how the vendors feel about having all the smoke landing on all their product.
Wafting with the pulled pork. Mesh. Smoked
Pulled
fish.
pork lamb mittens. Lamb roll mittens.
Okay, nice try, John. Moving on.
That was a nice try though.
I'm just looking for something cool that could go in there. Yes.
Antique cars. Where are we putting them?
I need to talk to Rhoda. I will talk to Rhoda.
We have been
Absolutely.
waiting.
Yeah, I go to Jumbo Donuts enough that we're practically on a first name basis now.
Oh, okay.
I figured out who Rhoda is.
Yep.
Because I go to Jumbo Donuts just about every day. I'll talk to Rhoda.
We have the biggest donuts.
But,
Squeaky.
but if maybe we want to think of a plan B in case that lot doesn't work.
Well, you can mention to her that the tenants that rent from her in the back, the apartments, they came looking for me. And they, even at the end of the event, they talked with me again, why were the cars not there? They love the cars in the parking lot. And if they say it's the Chinese restaurant, there's no parking anyway. So, and the Chinese restaurant should be very busy. We bring 15,000 people. You should be quite busy. So, I mean, there should be no, and In Gear told me they rope off their little garden. They specifically rope it off.
Preaching to the choir.
Well, I'm telling you so you can tell her.
I'll talk to her.
Okay. Let's hope for the best. All right, in case?
Well, that's actually pretty much the only spot, so let's see, let's
What
see how
happened
that
with the
goes.
parking lot? We had a plan B, which was the parking lot of Grill on Main.
It
Yeah,
rained, so that
Yeah.
took care of the antique cars.
But was that gonna work?
That Terry from In Gear was working with Grill on Main.
well,
They did work it out at the very end.
Okay.
So I need you to work your magic.
it really does work better down there.
I know. Let's see what I can do. Talk to her.
Yep.
Anything else?
I think of in
How about,
case.
are we gonna be able to get any statues this year?
Oh no, John's getting overwhelmed. So you can't go on vacation?
I'm going on vacation.
2 weeks? Who gets 2 weeks?
Living statues or, you know, something? How about the magician guy?
Yeah.
People love Ed the Wizard. People come
Ed the
up to me,
Wizard.
where's the guy with the balloons? I'm like, what guy with balloons? I didn't know it was Ed the Wizard.
I love Ed the Wizard too.
Anything else? Anybody get any ideas
Hold
for
on,
new
hold
stuff?
No.
Hold on,
No
hold
new
on.
stuff?
No.
Okay, I was ready to start writing Ed the Wizard.
Oh, Ed the Wizard's great.
Is he coming?
I know, I gotta ask him.
You did or you didn't?
I have not asked him yet.
Really?
No, but I will.
Well, you gotta do it soon,
Yeah. I will.
Before vacation.
before vacation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Well, you know,
All right, yeah.
I'm well aware.
okay.
Okay.
No new stuff.
No new stuff?
No.
Really?
Yeah. We're running out of time.
New stuff? Got any ideas?
No, I thought we talked about some ideas last time. Has there been any traction on it? No.
New stuff. We like to add new stuff.
Yeah. I am still
You
trying to
don't want me to
work.
build anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, let's fix this.
Right.
We got like
I think we need
capital,
some time to
capital
fix some of the
reinvestments.
stuff, yeah.
Let's get the, let's get the unit, the storage unit working. Let's fix the stuff that's falling apart.
Repair everything that needs
Yeah,
to, put
this is a
everything in there
repair
kindly and nicely and,
Build shelves, fix the floor. It's a repair year.
I would.
I need boxes for my stages. We gotta buy that stuff.
Oh, totes.
Yeah, I need totes for my stages. We need to buy the stuff to go in the totes. That's gonna be an expense.
No, you just spent $400.
Yeah, I'm spending more money.
All right, your turn. Go get a sponsor. Ones that we don't use.
He keeps pointing at me.
You have a way with words. I'd say it was a good way.
Wait a minute. What happened? All right, I have a question.
Send me a
Why-
list of new sponsors I can attack.
That would be great.
I will get the
Don't
word
go
out.
after Woo Sox or Polar because
Nope.
they said no, thank you.
Nope.
So what happened to the stuff we had last year that we now have to buy to go in the totes?
Keith's.
Keith left and took all his toys with him.
Yeah, I mean, he was gracious enough to let us use his stuff, but
Oh,
again,
you were gonna come by, okay,
on a Wednesday
on a Wednesday
and look at your
and
stuff.
take a look at some of the mobile,
Yeah,
because I have some mobile PA equipment.
yep. What time are you there on Wednesday?
7 o'clock
Until when?
until
The meeting ends at 8:30.
8:30.
Should I go after the meeting?
Yes.
Or before. Can we get there a little earlier?
I
No.
could.
Oh, he has the
Bedtime.
children.
Kids in bedtime.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you showed up at 8:30 or something,
Okay.
so you can show up at 8:30 Wednesday.
Okay.
And then you can take the stuff with him home.
There you go.
Have an empty car.
Oh, great. I'll bring stuff for you and we'll do a swap.
What are you bringing?
Oh, I've got 3 buckets of tickets.
Okay.
You can have those.
Yeah.
I've got the cable speed bumps.
Okay.
You can have those.
Yep.
Those are gonna go in a tote anyway,
Yeah,
for one of the stages, yeah.
not the speed bumps.
Well, yeah, they should, because those,
They'll fit. You'll make them fit.
All right, we'll figure it out. Oh, okay.
And I think I have some are part of the PA, the FM system.
okay,
We'll do a tradesies.
all right. Works for
Yeah,
me.
so
Deal.
now you can't get mad at us till the next batch comes in.
All right. So let me know about the container. That's the
Yeah.
next big piece we need from you.
We need to find more sponsors for this. We really do.
When do we want to do the next meeting? You're on vacation next week, you said. So it can't be
You're
next
going
week.
someplace wonderful. So,
Vancouver.
really, that's cool. The fires are all done, right, up north?
Those are really Nova Scotia.
How about Monday, July 17th? Would that work?
That works.
Hmm?
That works.
That works. All right.
John's thinking.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll just
Monday, July 17th.
Been home for a few days.
Okay. Move to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
I know one.